Welcome to Araverse, your gateway to timeless stories and history. Today, we delve deeply into a classic piece of American humor, Mark Twain's beloved short story, The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County, first published in 1865 and known for its witty narration and eccentric characters. Our story begins when a narrator visits a mining camp seeking information about a prominent figure, Reverend Leonidas W. Smiley, but instead, he encounters the garrulous old miner named Simon Wheeler, who is eager to share his endless tales. Simon Wheeler, a man of immense leisure with an unwavering monotone voice that never rises or falls, corners our hapless narrator in the saloon, ready to spin a long-winded yarn not about the Reverend, but about a different Smiley altogether, the notorious gambler Jim Smiley. Jim Smiley, as Wheeler recounts in great detail, was an inveterate and relentless gambler, always ready to bet on anything that moved or didn't, from fierce dog fights and cockfights to even the outcome of a desperately sick man's recovery from illness. One of Smiley's most peculiar and fondly remembered possessions was an old, asthmatic plug of a mare that looked like nothing more than a bag of bones and cobwebs, barely able to trot, but who would always come alive and win races miraculously in the final stretch with surprising speed. Then there was Smiley's favorite fighting dog named Andrew Jackson, who appeared unassuming and mild-mannered at first glance, but when money was on the line, he'd clamp onto the hind leg of his opponent with unyielding grip and hold on fiercely until victory. Andrew Jackson finally met his match in a cunning dog that had no hind legs at all, leaving him unable to employ his signature winning strategy, so he lost the fight ignominiously and soon after died of what seemed like a broken heart from the defeat. But the wager that brought Smiley everlasting fame in Wheeler's telling involved a remarkable frog named Daniel Webster, whom he had painstakingly trained over months to jump higher and farther than any other frog in the county, turning it into a jumping champion. Smiley devoted a full 3 months to educating Daniel Webster meticulously, teaching the frog not only to catch flies on the fly with precision, but also to perform impressive leaps on command, responding to his master's every cue with athletic prowess. Daniel Webster proved to be a frog of truly remarkable talent and intelligence, capable of prodigious jumps that left spectators astonished, leaping distances and heights that seemed impossible for any ordinary amphibian. One fateful day, a stranger arrived in the dusty mining camp of Calaveras County, and true to form, Smiley, ever eager for a wager, immediately challenged him to a jumping contest between their frogs, sensing an easy bet. Smiley boasted confidently that his Daniel Webster could outjump any frog in all of Calaveras County without question, and he proposed a substantial $40 wager to prove it, his eyes gleaming with the thrill of the gamble. The stranger, feigning reluctance, claimed he had no frog of his own to enter in the contest, so he agreed to the generous bet, which prompted the overconfident Smiley to dash off eagerly to the nearby marsh to catch a suitable opponent frog for him. While Smiley was away on his frog-hunting errand, the cunning stranger seized the perfect opportunity for trickery, prying open Daniel Webster's mouth forcefully and filling it to the brim with heavy quail shot to weigh him down. When Smiley finally returned triumphant with a fresh, ordinary frog in hand, the two amphibians were placed carefully side by side on the ground, all set for the highly anticipated jumping contest under the watchful eyes of the camp. Smiley prodded and urged his champion Daniel Webster repeatedly to jump as he always did, but the poor frog, now weighed down unbearably by the hidden quail shot, could barely budge an inch from his spot, sitting there helplessly. Meanwhile, the stranger's newly caught frog, unburdened and spry, made a respectable and decisive leap forward, easily securing the victory and claiming Smiley's $40 in front of the stunned onlookers. It wasn't until the victorious stranger had long departed the camp that Smiley, puzzled by Dan L.'s strange heaviness, finally picked up the frog and discovered the deceitful quail shot pouring out upon shaking him. Outraged and fuming with anger at the clever swindle, Smiley chased after the stranger down the dusty street. But alas, it was too late. The sly trickster had vanished completely with his ill-gotten winnings. Just as the beleaguered narrator believed Wheeler's interminable tale was finally drawing to a close, the old man, without pause, launched seamlessly into another rambling, unrelated story about a pinto cow with only one eye. Seizing his long-awaited chance at freedom, the narrator politely excused himself from the conversation and slipped away quietly, escaping Wheeler's endless stream of monotonous anecdotes before more could be inflicted upon him. And so concludes the humorous, timeless, and delightfully twisty tale of Jim Smiley and his celebrated jumping frog Daniel Webster, a true gem of American literature by Mark Twain that captures the spirit of the frontier. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Arrowverse for more fascinating stories from history and classic literature just like this one.